汇集天下大事，聚焦华人热点。西雅图中文电台网络电视。
The first human genome project, which China got 1% of the total human genome worked out. He led this effort in China and become very well known internationally, as well as start the genomic industry in China. Before that, actually, even the president of China didn't really know what a human genome project was. So he is the father of a genome in China. When he started the BGI, he named the BGI in Chinese as something very similar to University of Washington to recognize the history he has had with the University of Washington. So due to this historic reason, Seattle always is a very special place for Dr. Wang Jian as well as for BGI. So I joined the BGI in February this year. Before that, I worked at the Gates Foundation for 9 years. I was deputy director for global health. So due to my roles at the Gates Foundation, I had quite extensive interaction with BGI. We built, for example, the BGI Gates Foundation partnership to use genomic technology for the benefit of poor people in developing countries. BGI has done a lot of genomic research for people in Africa, in Southeast Asia, etc., to contribute our resources and expertise to the benefit of these people. So now we start, as you see, we open the Seattle office here, which started last week. We're moving last week, and this is the grand opening, so we appreciate you come over and celebrate with us. The intention, the goal of opening the Seattle Seattle office is really for us to expand the BGI business in the United States and expand it to North America. We are going to enhance our partnership with different organizations, including foundations, such as Gates Foundations, Paul Allen Institute, University of Washington's, Washington State Universities, Intellectual Venture, etc. We also want to expand our business by working with different industries, not just the companies in Seattle, but also outside of Seattle. We are also looking at the different new technology, because we all know Seattle is a great place for innovation. So there are a lot of new stuff, new technologies coming out of Seattle. So we are very interested in learning from those and acquire them for the business need. Some of you may know that 3 years ago, BGI acquired Complete Genomics at Mountain View, California, for the genomic sequencer technology. So right now, if you look at the whole world, there are only 2 countries who manufacture genomic sequencer. One in the United States, the other is China, and the BGI, the only company in China, manufactures sequencer. And in the United States, there are 2 more companies. Illumina is the one most people familiar with, and the other one is Thermo Fisher. So you can see, by acquiring the new technology, by acquiring the new business in the United States, BGI developed its own core capability and capacity to compete in a global setting. So that's what we try to continue to do. We have been fortunately to get some very good advice from very strong leader in United States. Those people including Tachi Yamada, probably many of you know Dr. Tachi Yamada. He used to be the ID chairman of GSK, and then later became the president of global health at the Gates Foundation. So we are fortunate Dr. Tachi Yamada agreed to become the scientific advisor board chairman for BGI. And also many of you here must know Lee Hood, who is the father of system biology, and also the father, I would call him also the father of precision medicine, because he is the one initially bring out this 4PD, which is the early stage or the start of the precision medicine. So Dr. Lee Hood also became the scientific advisory board member for BGI. And just last Friday, Professor George Churchill, who is the father of synthetic biology as well as the pioneer in the genomic research, also assigned on to become the scientific advisory board for BGI. So we are very lucky to have those strong leaders in the research and development area to help us and to guide us for us to compete and to do better research in the global setting and to contribute the medical advancement as well as business in the United States. So right now we are still relatively small team here in Seattle, but I will ask our Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Duncan Yu, to share with you the new initiatives BGI has, which is called to return to America, and he will explain to you what does that mean, which is is a very strong commitment to BGI to expand and to do much bigger business in the United States. So with that, I'd like to introduce Dr. Duncan Yu to share his thoughts.
Forgive me that if I say anything stupid. Okay. So people always ask BGI, is it a Chinese company or international company? What are you? This is a very simple question. My simple answer is BGI was founded because of the International Genome Program, the Human Genome Program. So back in '99, because one of the founders, Dr. Wang Jian and my name, and they, on behalf of Chinese government, they participated in the Human Genome Project. That's where we started. So I would say that we are a local company, but at the same time, we have an initiative working internationally, collaborating with everyone across the world. So we are a very young company. We have like about 18 years today, 18 years, but we always have a very interesting story that we started from a research institute, and right now we have the commercial arms in different business. So if I say that, let me tell you a little bit about what we are today. Is for BGI, people always know a little bit more is about our sequencing services or our medical services. So we look at today for BGI. This can really to show you the power of genomics. We have a very strong base in the research team. This is the core of BGI, and at the same time, this year in September we just opened the Chinese National Gene Bank. Just opened in China in Shenzhen. But this is BGI is responsible for administrating the whole gene bank. So think about the scale is, this is the 4th gene bank in the world. The 4th. We have one in the States, one in Europe, another one in Japan. But this is so far the biggest. Because we look at compared to the other 3. So we have 3 major platforms. We have the data, the wet data, which collects the real samples. And we have the live samples, and at the same time, we have the digitized sample. So we look at the digitized sample, the live sample, we're talking about 10 million, I forgot, I remember it's 10 million samples for the gene bank. And for the digitized sample, in the first year, we are looking at about 2 PB per year. Just 2 PB per year for the data. And let's say if we reach the capacity, it could be up to about 9 PB of data per year. So basically, the 9 PB, it should be something over 20% of the world data, everything. So those are the information power of the research. And Then we have division for the college, which we treasure the collaboration with everyone in the world. We have the exchange program, students program for the graduate school program, and then we have the data science, the publication for focusing on the genomics. So we look at the SCI index. We have the 7.46 this year. We rank about 4th or 5th among top 5 in the whole world. So these are the non-profit side. But at the same time, we are a private company. We're a private company. So we need to make sure that we funnel the research programs there. So we set up the business units. The first one is we call the BGI Genomics. The BGI Genomics right now we provide these sequencing services to the life science arena and also to the pharmaceutical companies. And then we have a division. We have a division for the we call it BGI Medical Diagnosis, which provide the molecular diagnosis tests for the hospital. So one of the major tests that we deliver is for the prenatal test. So the scale is at this moment, I think we are running about 1/3 of the world prenatal tests in BGI. 1/3. And in March this year, in March 21st, we are the first company to perform more than the million mark. So think about the time when we launched the first test back in 2012, 2013, I think around that time. It took us about 4 or 5 years to reach the first 1 million. And we're already ahead of everyone in the world. But then, because of increasing capacity, so just put today, from between March to today, we already run another 700,000. So we're in the pace of getting over 1 to 2 million every year. So this, again, can show that people always ask about how accurate. I don't know how accurate that would be to me. Is that if you ask any statistician about the population, but we are providing tests for 99.9% accuracy over millions of samples. So that I think that I'll leave it for people to define whether this is accurate or not. And we have a division for the agriculture, because when we look at health, the problem is not just about the treatment; it's also about the way that you eat. I think in Seattle, you're very fortunate to have a very nice environment. But when you look about in China, so this is a very, very serious issue. So from the scientific point of view, we start to work in the science field, because for the world data, over 70% of agriculture data actually given by BGI. So we already support people in some program, so we want to get more involved in actually delivering the program. So we started working we have a farm for the millet, because it's just a new crop. We increase the yield, and we have a division for the fishery, because we really like to see for the protein from seed instead of just sticking in the ground. And then we look into the vertical farming, is how to make sure that we have to combine the new the ecosystem, the recycling all the waste, and also we make use of the algae and probiotics into the new way of living. But this is a new division, and then we have a new division for forensic, for the profile. So Henry Lee, I'm very proud that Henry Lee, he is actually one of the advisors for BGI International. So he's supporting us about the new program, how to make sure that we can rightfully to use it in the forensic system, and particularly we're introducing the new technologies like NGS or even the third generation NGS into this system to make it more robust and more reliable. And then we have another division you already mentioned about the one in complete genomics, and this is actually the main reason that we're able to do such long big new program, because before that, we're just one of the service providers. But we know that there are certain hindrances or barriers in launching in the supply chain. So back in 2012, through the acquisition of the Complete Genomics in California, so we started to set up the new division in producing the research tools, the tools for all this research. So basically, everything we manufacture, we produce there. We focus on delivering how to improve the productivity and the efficiency of all the tests. So it's not just with the selling the instrument. I think the target is very different. So last year, I think we were very lucky that we launched 2 models last year. We launched a super high models, ultra high models in California, and at the same time, we launched another model, a benchtop model in China. So in the first year, we already received, we already got more than hundreds of thousands of orders there. And for the Chinese benchtop model, I think it's on October 31st, we received the first of the CFDA approval in China. It's a medical device. So these are all the new things. So I would believe that genomics, science, there's no boundaries. So there's still lots of new areas we can invest. So we have some special programs working on the sports medicine. We're interested in how to make sure that the financing part as well, also for insurance. So all in all, we're trying to make sure that the genomics is not just something from the research. We want to make sure that how the general public, they can enjoy. And for my role, I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the group, but at the same time, I'm also the CEO for the BGI International. Having said that, it's basically everything outside of mainland China. I think it's easier for this. Everything outside of and we spent the last couple of years we're trying to build the core competence and want to build the modules in China. And we've been thinking about how to work with the different partners elsewhere. So I think this is really the time that we believe that we need to move a step or 10 steps forward to work with the international friends, how to make sure that they help us or to help each other into going to the new areas. So in 2016, we started the program for the international the program. So already opened the new offices in in Brisbane in Australia. So right now for BGI, we're operating in, because I noticed from the video, it said about 52 countries, but actually right now we're operating in 62 countries in the world. 62 countries. So and then we have the primary site in Montevideo, and then we have another site in Copenhagen, in Denmark. We have a site in Brisbane, and then we have a site in Hong Kong as well. And I'm very pleased that today we have a new office in Seattle. So this is, I believe this is how the end. This is really the beginning. So in every single office that we want to make sure that we have our first spot, so we can have a meeting point to really liaise with all the friends and the partners, and then to develop what can we do together. I think this is very important, because instead of, if you just think about the old days that we have to get to fly here every time the rush program, I think we need to have a local team here really to show us what can we do, what can we do together every year, every day. And I'm very, very pleased. First we have Yiwu join us. I think Yiwu took a very bold move. But I think he made the right decision in joining us, because we share the vision that we really want to make the world better. We want to make the world healthier. We really want to share to make sure people can really benefit from what we're working on the research side. It's not just in the wealthy countries, but I'm also working on programs in Africa and Southeast Asia as well. Make sure that everyone, because for BGI is it's not about the biotechnology. It's not something from the high for the rich and the people. We want to make sure that everyone can afford. So the affordability, accessibility are really the key. We want to make sure that everyone can benefit and can live healthy. Wang Jian himself, he mentioned that he wants to live for 120 years old. I mean, every time I say, oh gosh, wait, I don't want to be back for 120 years and live those days. I want to really, 120 years old, I want to make sure that I can still enjoy my life. I can still ride my bike, I can still run, I can still walk, I can still eat healthy. Those are life, but not just in the hospital. Sorry, I'm not against it, but I think it really is a quality of life there. So we want to make sure that people understand and to really to see the new way of living. And as we said, we're moving into the life economy. So people started to think more about health. What can be better for the economy, for our own health, instead of getting more just simply improving the productivity in the industrial world. We wanted to see what can we do better for health, to the environment. So this is what we're driving. And I believe that Seattle is a nice place. You already mentioned that even though we didn't have the Seattle office, but Wang Jian himself, there's a very personal attachment for the 30 years. So he came here, I think, just this year, he came here twice already. He came twice, at least twice that I know of. There may be some personal trips I don't know. At least twice he came here. So he always shared the same vision, and especially he always shared what he learned during his tenure with the University of Washington, and then to bring back the vision back to China about the Imaging Project. So really, he always told us that we have to open up the mind. And science is for everyone. It's not just for region or some any particular place. So just push us. So one simple example that I can share with you later is about a test. I have we have for one of the tests we launched, we can charge for up to about $500 US dollar test. That's the market price. That's everyone is working on. But he came to us and said, no. There's only a very limited amount of people can afford that because it's not reimbursable. It's not under the healthcare program. So he raised the wall with the other companies. He dropped the price to less than 20% of it. For that, to make sure that more people can afford it. So we raised that, and then we serve a lot. We have a lot of
world, and it's really exciting to have BGI here in the family organizations in the Seattle area, making a very real contribution towards not just partnering together, but figuring out how the 1 + 1 makes 4 or 5, and how we can together take the next steps to bring life-saving cures to the rest of the world and new, better techniques for meeting healthcare needs. So thank you very much. Thank you, Christy. It's going to be great to have you a couple floors away, and look forward to working with you more closely.
Thank you. 2012, we still had you at the foundation. And we really look forward to continuing this partnership and this collaboration and continuing to find areas of common interest where we can work together moving forward as our partner and now as our neighbor in Seattle as well. So thank you and welcome.
So the founder of BGI, Wang Jian, he is indeed the best known UW Medicine alumni in our time. I'm very honored to be here. I am the Director of Global Affairs in UW Medicine, and I was very moved when I first met Professor Wang when he said that he named his company after UW,华大基因 after Huada. And since then, the relationship between our two institutions got warmer, and in May of this year, we signed a formal MOU in Shenzhen, witnessed by the leaders of two cities. And we're thrilled to know that BGI is establishing a permanent imprint in Seattle. And congratulations again. We look forward to witness your successes here, and we look forward to our partnership in our joint mission of improving health of all people in the world.